We are going to create the ultimate Minecraft base. A base inside the ultimate Minecraft cave. And then I'm going to release it for download. Don't you go anywhere. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance, in my Walkabout World series. This is the series where I build one, hopefully, fairly epic build for you to be able to download within the entire world, so you don't just get the build I've done, but you get all the previous builds. This one, behind me, was the last one, episode 11, and oh wow, this one went so well. I was so pleased for it. Go and see in the link in the description below, the entire playlist. You can come and see how I made this awesome desert base. That was episode 11. Episode 12 is somewhere through that corridor. Well, I'm walking along the road, but there doesn't seem to be anything at the end of it yet. And that's because there isn't anything yet, because I've not built it. We've got some serious building to do on this fella, because today we are going to be doing a cave base. I'm actually really excited by this, but I'm less excited by the setup, because what we've got to build is a blooming great big cave. Obviously, being a cave, it's going to be an incredibly rocky and stony palette. All the different types of stone pretty much are there, including some dead brain coral block, which works really well when you mix it in with cobble and things like that. It works beautifully. I'm going primarily with oak, although we may mix in some other types of wood there as well. A few different types of lighting sources. It's inside, we're going to have to light it up really well, and some decorative blocks. There's loads there that I've not got, things like glass, etc. I just didn't have room. Let's crack on. So the first thing I want to do is build up the actual cave shape, as if someone has cut a slither through it so you can see inside the cave, not so there's a tiny little cave mouth. That's not what I'm after at the moment. So I need a width for this, which I think I'm going to be coming something around about there across to... This is going to be massive. Oh my goodness, this is going to be way too big. Right, so it's something along those sorts of lines. And I want to build up a bit of an arch opening first that gives us, so as we can see in from the outside, a bit like one of those toys that you might have had when you were a kid that opens up the front of the doll's house and you can see inside all the rooms and things like that. That's really what I'm going for, otherwise you won't be able to see me building it properly, and that sort of defeats the object. That might be going a little too high, but you never know, it might just work. Let's do it on the same on this side as well. So that's a little bit like the cave, not mouth, but opening part. The mouth is actually going to be down here somewhere, probably not much bigger than that, but it's no good me building that because you won't be able to see what's going on inside. So now what I need to do, I need to bring this all the way across the front, arch it over a little bit, and bring the mountains kind of around to enclose it off. So the only way you can go is through the cave system. Now, I may employ the assistance of World Edit to get some of this done, to be honest, otherwise I'll be here for 14 years and it won't be worthwhile. But in the meantime, I will just bring this up and over just to see how it looks, because I'm not entirely certain yet how it's going to work. But let's crack on and see what happens. There is a slight possibility that I may have gone a little bit over the top with my cave making. It just kept going and going. And that is now my cave. I've connected it up to the mountains that go around the desert, so it is the only way out and through. But I think it actually doesn't look too shabby, frankly. It's just gone a little bit mad. Mad is okay. I can cope with mad. But inside, it's currently still very, very dark, so I apologise for that. But we've got lots of space for us to be able to make ourselves a bit of a cave base. And as a result, I may not even close up the mouth to a very small cave opener. We'll close it up a little bit because I can't have gaping open like that. It won't be secure. But in reality, I think it might be okay to keep it open slightly more than I had first thought. I just need to get some temporary lighting in here so as we can actually see what we're doing, and then we can start to do some building. That is much better. Now, I appreciate this is pretty much all just plain stone right now, and we're going to change that up, but not quite yet, because what I want to do is I want to get a little bit of structure. Also, this floor, we're not going to keep it just flat like that. We're going to bring that up and down and have some lower areas and some higher areas. But what I want to do is at the sides, I want to create some second level platforms. But to do that, obviously, we need to be able to access those platforms. So I'm just going to build 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to come across 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to build basically some platforms that are this sort of size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All on this sort of height, and it's going to come all the way around, almost like a horseshoe, as a second level on this platform. We're then going to create some other secondary platforms that don't come from the floor that are going to follow it around. So as we got, basically, we can utilise all of the various spaces within the cave. It's no good just having your stuff on the floor and a blooming great big ice ceiling. So let's crack on with that. We've got some structures going up now. This is going to be a stalagmite, so is that. There'll be a stalactite that comes and meets that, so that becomes an entire pillar. Probably not that, but there will be a stalactite above it to make it more natural, because the stalagmites are formed as a result of stalactites dripping the calcium-rich water onto the ground and it piling up. We'll put a few more stalactites in there as well. Whether or not we match them with stalagmites, I'm not entirely sure. Now we've got a number of different areas that we can start to develop here. This one down underneath, I'm thinking this is going to become some kind of secret storage area probably. The ones along the top are going to become living space, so we're going to wall those in. Some of these areas here will become crops. We'll have animal pens, so I might switch out some of this wood for things like podzol, etc. And then we obviously need to change the entire floor to a mixture of dirt and stone and all that kind of stuff. So it's still a lot more to do. lots of stuff to do around this area. We don't want it just plain. We're going to be closing this in as well, just a little bit, so as we've not got a completely open area. So if you can imagine, we'll be bringing in the walls of the cave probably to about there, and maybe around about here, that sort of area, I reckon. Something like that. So I need to bring those walls around and in, so as we block those off, but I'll do that right towards the end. But now I've got the markers, I know exactly where I can build to, which is excellent. Okay, I guess we better get on with some more. Spent what feels like the last 500 years texturing up inside of here, and now what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the top of the stairs. Oh, just realised I can't actually get through there. Let's open that up, and we're going to come through behind here because we've got a whole lot of rock and not a whole lot of room for us to be able to work and play and do whatever it is we've got to do. So we're going to hollow out what is effectively going to be our living quarters out of this rock right now. And if we've got enough space, then we'll be able to do all of the separate rooms that we need to be putting in there. We're also going to need to extend any of these pillars that are going to be able to support the rest of the house, frankly. So I've got a lot of digging to do, it would seem, but it's going to be worth it. And we're going to come all the way around to open up that side, but also that side currently isn't connected to anything. We're going to leave that wall, but we're going to come along this way and we're going to burrow our way through, so as we have got one long continuous area for us to be able to live in. Time to get digging. Mission successful. We have managed to get a good amount of oak floor in a decent amount of space here. I've indented those rafters just to make them a little bit more interesting, but I've kept some of these stones because I wanted to not ruin the integrity of the fact that this is a cave. So some of the cave ceiling is going to be stone and some of it is going to be wood. That just makes sense to me with the proud beams there. I think that works quite well, and it goes all the way around. I've not actually lit up this side yet particularly well to have a decent internal space. Oh, I've also got to do that. I can turn this into living and working and all kinds of quarters here. I think we've got so much space we don't know what to do with it, so I'm just going to crack on and do a little bit of that. good chunk of the structure inside the upstairs buildings now is complete. Not completely complete, but more or less complete. A little bit more to do there. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to finish the structure of these stalagmites and stalactites to get that into the cave, and then we can finish it off. So let's crack on with them. So really all we've got left to do now is detailing, and quite a lot of detailing, frankly. We've put in that hanging bridge that goes across. That's going to link up the end two rooms of the entire house, so you can go all the way around and then over the top. The stalactites need just a slightly little bit more work, as do the stalagmites, and we need to put in the more mini ones as well, I think. Also, the floor looks a bit bland. We need to get that sorted out. We also need a mine. We also need a nether portal. Still a number of things to do, and I'll be back when I'm finished. We are done. Now this is a big base, so to get the most from it, you need to come and download the world. The link is in the description below, absolutely free. Just come and download it. It's for Java, and I hope you really enjoy it. It will be here where you're standing when you're loading the world, but don't forget, all the way over there you've got all of the other Walkabout World builds as well, another 11 different builds. Go and explore the lot. Let's have a quick whistle stop tour around here. So we've got farms, we've got water pools that's got light inside it, just to give a little bit of a glow, especially at night time by the mouth of the cave. And then if we come up and around here, we've got a few just little walkabout areas there where you can just go and chill for a bit. Then I'm not going to go upstairs just yet. Down here we have got the entrance to our mine with plenty of storage areas. You can see the mine is down there. Proper whistle stop, I did warn you. And then we're coming up and we've got all of our animal pen areas. We've got sheep, we've got horses, we've got pigs, and we've got cows. Didn't bother with chickens, they make too much noise. In here we have got our nether portal. Now we're not in 1.16, so things do still come through this portal, so make sure you put a gate across, otherwise you're going to get all kinds of zombies coming through there. That's not going to be good at all. Let's go upstairs now. Upstairs we have got a little area here just for a little bit of storage. I've actually not done anything with it. It's entirely up to you what you could do there. I've just put storage barrels, etc. in there. Open up the gate, come through. This is what gives you protection from any mobs coming into the base. They cannot get through here. And inside here we have got our entire area carpeted nicely. Made sure we've got a little bit of decoration, all of the necessary bits and pieces that we would need to be able to live, from living to smelting, pumpkins and melons, all inside here. And then if you come up and around here, you come onto our walkway that spans the entire cave base, right from that side all the way round to this side. And if I just do a quick leg it all the way around here and come down the stairs, you'll see that we find ourselves at the other end. So let's close out this episode stood upon this block, which has been hoisted up by this crane from the bottom to the top, because obviously it'd be a bit hard to drag it up those stairs. Made sense to have a crane. I've really enjoyed doing this one. This has taken a very long time, as you can probably imagine. I love the way that we've got lights dripping from the top in two different styles with the hidden glowstone and also those end rods. If you have enjoyed this video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying it, and I will keep on making them. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.